Hello, Leo, and welcome to your reading for the week of January the 30th through February the 5th, 2024. Hard to believe we're in February already. We're getting there. So this is a reading for you if you are a Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising, or if you have some other significant Leo aspect in your chart. This reading may resonate with you. Sometimes if you're somebody who usually looks at your sun sign reading, and if you find that they're not resonating with you, that's when you might want to go and look at those other aspects and see if that applies to you more. It all depends on your own particular horoscope. This is, of course, a general reading, so there may be some things that apply to you and some things that you may need to leave behind and say, okay, that clearly is not meant for me. But I try to do as thorough of an interpretation as I can using a astrological horoscope spread so that we can look at all aspects of life, and I try to address every particular situation to the best of my ability. If you are new to this channel, welcome. It's very good to have you here. I do hope you find these readings helpful. If you do, please give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you would like, and also consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get my readings, which usually come out every Monday, barring difficulties with technology. Usually I try to get them out Monday morning. Sometimes things, YouTube has other plans, or my iPhone has other plans, so sometimes it takes longer than that. But generally speaking, they come out Monday during the day, certainly by Monday late day. And if you're coming back to this channel, welcome back. I'm glad that you're back again, and I hope that means that these readings are resonating with you and are helpful to you. And as always, give a thumbs up, leave me a comment if you choose, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Also down in the description below, I have my links to my website, and also to I have a PayPal donation link that I use. And again, nobody's obliged to look at or deal with any of that, but if you feel called in either way, then those links are down in the description. And I want to say thank you to those of you who have donated to this channel. Your donations are much appreciated. So, okay, let's move on here, and let's talk about what you need to know for this coming week. Okay, so the decks that I'm using this week, I always like to clarify what I'm using, is I'm using the Murray Hope's Way of Cartouche deck, which I've been using since 1987. And I'm also using, to clarify this deck, I'm using the Druidcraft Tarot deck. So I always like to do a cartouche with a tarot. And I follow at the end with an oracle reading, and this week's oracle is going to be the Gateway Oracle by Denise Linn. So, okay. First house, let's look at your energy here. And those of you who are not familiar with these readings, you should catch on pretty quickly to how I do these. So first house is Aries energy, and the first house is connected to Mars. It's connected to how you present yourself to the world, how other people see you. It's a house of I am, the house of self-identity. So this is literally the kind of face that you put out to the world, and how people see you, and perhaps how you want to be seen. So we have Isis with the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so Isis would indicate, Leo, that you are taking on kind of a, well, with Isis, there's definitely a motherly component to it in Cartouche deck. She is considered to have this very nurturing and compassionate kind of vibe. So maybe you have been spending a lot of time and energy caring for others or focusing on the needs of others. Maybe some of you are mothers and you're kind of in mother mode. So there's definitely this sense of compassion, caring. Really, on the more spiritual levels, Isis has a lot to do with following our intuition, and maybe has a little bit more of the energy of the High Priestess in this case, as you would see in the tarot. So there's a little bit of mystery here, but I feel like this is also, you're in a space where you are maybe following your heart and thinking about the needs of others besides just yourself. And with the Two of Pentacles, there's a sense of juggling more than one thing. You see the woman here is juggling a couple of pentacles here in the air. She's got, one up here and one down here. So you may, now since this is the house of identity, you may be struggling with maybe two sides of yourself or two aspects of yourself that maybe you want to promote. If you are, for example, if you are thinking about getting a job, or if you are in a career situation, you may have kind of two identities that you deal with. Maybe you do have one main job and one side hustle. I mean, it can vary, but there's definitely this sense of, juggling with more than one thing. And there could be some choices that need to be made too. I feel like what I'm seeing with a lot of people here, especially since Pluto has shifted into Aquarius, and Aquarius, of course, is a very mental and intellectual kind of a sign. But there's definitely, I feel like for a lot of people, interestingly enough, there's been this push towards looking into the heart space. Okay, so I feel like we're going more with what feels right and feels authentic to ourselves and what connects us to others, rather than things that say are just about making money or just about getting stuff for ourselves. I feel that here. I feel like there's this, but also at the same time, obviously we do need to meet our material needs and need to have that financial stability. So yeah, I feel like there could be some juggling with these aspects of your personality. Maybe you definitely want to be giving to others, but at the same time, this may be creating a juggling where you feel like maybe you have to choose between two things. Now, the second house is Taurus energy. This is ruled by Venus, and this house has to do with your finances, your personal finances, your possessions, and also potentially with your values. Okay, we have Ta with the Three of Wands. So yeah, some of you are working. You're putting the energy out there. Ta is strong Capricorn energy, so it's connected to Saturn. And Ta in Egyptian mythology is the master maker. He's the builder. So you have this idea of building something, creating boundaries where they're needed, building structures. There's definitely a sense that you are moving along the path, maybe slowly, maybe persistently, towards mastery of something, towards mastery of your finances, towards building something that is stable. Maybe this means investing for some people. With the Three of Wands, yeah, there's definitely this energy of putting out manifesting your wishes, putting out there what you want, and seeing what returns to you. So you see this man here with the Three Wands, but you can see he's looking at this path ahead. So you are definitely looking on to the next thing. You're looking to expand your horizons. Three of Wands also sometimes comes up when we are looking to collaborate with others. So so there definitely seems to be some movement in your terms of money and possessions. You seem to be attempting to move on to whatever the next thing is for you, or whatever maybe your new goals are, or whatever you've been trying to manifest and maybe haven't up to this point. And with this, there's definitely this sense of building, of putting the work in. So certainly very stable and grounded. It's actually very good energy for the money house, because Ta is earth energy, and you have it with this sort of proactive fire energy that we see here. Okay, third house is Gemini. Gemini has to do with communications. If you're in your own business, this has to do with self-effort. So it would have to do with self-employment if you do run your own business or have your own gig. It can have to do with sibling relationships with brothers and sisters. So that doesn't always apply. Again, I'm just mentioning all the aspects of the house. But that might apply. And also with short-term travel. So short trips, not things that, not necessarily trips that take over a couple hours, or maybe you're overseas or require a plane. This is very, very local kind of travel associated with this house. Okay, so we have Scarab with the Magician. Again, Magician to me is very similar in energetically to Ta over here, because Ta is also a magician. He's the creator, one of the creators of the universe, actually. And the Magician here suggests to me that you are in the process of manifesting something. Like you're not just putting out energy financially, you're putting out energy in terms of your communications, in terms of how you're reaching out to people. If you are in your own business, I mean, Scarab is about new beginnings, making a new start, and putting the work into manifesting. So far, you have a lot of energy of manifesting here. This may be why you have this Two of Pentacles. You may be very busy with things, in which case I feel like Isis may be telling you, to remember self-care as well. Because sometimes we get very focused on our goals, and taking care of ourselves has to be a part of that as well. You don't want to be throwing everything just into, say, the financial sector or into making money, and not thinking about what's required for the sort of more emotional self-care, or taking care of your health, or things that we tend to think of luxuries or pampering ourselves, but I don't really see them that way. I feel like we need to take time out for ourselves to do something nice for ourselves. So I think it's saying don't forget that as you're making these moves. But definitely, if you have been moving towards starting a business, if you're in a business and looking to make changes, or if you're just looking to make changes in your life generally that you've been in communications over right now, there's definitely the sense here of movement and of change coming and of action being taken. Excuse me. Now, the Magician is Mercury energy. So it's Mercury energy in the Mercury house. So that's, that it makes it, I guess the term that they would use if it was in a chart would be exalted. So it does really enhance the energy there of that. So far you are really, you are on the road to making a new start, to manifesting something both financially, potentially in business. So we'll see, look further and see. Okay. Your 4th house is Cancer energy. So Cancer has to do with your home, your environment, with your family. Can potentially have to do specifically with the mother, and also with your sense of security. Okay, so we have the World card here. And the World, okay, so the World indicates something that has come to an end. Just like we have Scarab over here, there's the idea that something is changing. Something has come to a successful conclusion. And we have it with Urias. Now, Urias is interesting because this shows something unexpected here. So what this says to me, now whether this pertains to your actual home or working in your home or a family situation, Urias has to do with something coming in that is unexpected. Not something, it has almost the energy of it's not what I expected, but it is what I needed. Like I always feel like that's the energy of Urias. The actual interpretation of this card can imply some other things too. But I also feel like this is a card of, there's an element of secrecy to Urias. So I feel like it's saying you may be working towards something in your home. Maybe you're keeping secrets from your family, or maybe it's saying you may be working to complete something here or bring something to successful conclusion. And maybe you feel like you may be keeping it to yourself, or there may be reasons why you don't want to tell family members about something. But overall, I just feel like whatever's going on in the background here, that somehow the direct approach to something is not the way to go. Like kind of working behind the scenes a little bit is the way to go in terms of a home or family situation. But Urias can also bring surprises, but they're usually good surprises. And the fact that you have it with the World success suggests that there's going to be a successful conclusion to something. This also is about expanding horizons. So for some people, this could mean moving far away, like moving. The World to me is about like moving overseas. It's really about expanding your horizons. So I feel like you are, you could be getting ready to move. And if you're not getting ready to move, for some reason, you're getting ready to change and expand your life in a way that maybe you feel your family's not going to understand. So you may be kind of keeping this under your hat and to yourself right now. I feel like that's the energy that we've got here. Okay, so the 5th house is Leo energy. Leo has to do with really the way that we're seen. It has to do with creativity, children. It can have to do with love affairs. I mean, these are unlegalized, love situations. If you are single and looking for somebody, or if you are dating somebody right now. There's definitely this sense here of creativity, of opening up, and also of leisure time, of things that you do to enjoy yourself. That's all recreation. That's all connected to the 5th house here. Okay, so you have Lotus with the Queen of Cups. So definitely to me, I feel like this is a sense of needing to relax, like a spa day idea that comes into my mind here. I feel like you are doing a lot of work and a lot of building here. I think maybe there's some anxiety about what you're doing. There could be some anxiety about children or potentially about a relationship for somebody. But again, Lotus coming up here would indicate that there's nothing to worry about. Okay, this is about calming the mind. There's no need to worry about something. And you have it with the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, for some of you, this could mean love or being loved. Okay, because the cup energy, especially King and Queen of Cups, definitely brings in the energy of somebody who loves you. Now, this is a female energy, but in my experience, this does not have to mean, like, if it's a woman watching this reading, this still could refer to a man. Okay, it doesn't, you know, and assuming that you're talking about a heterosexual relationship here, but basically the gender does not really matter here. There's definitely the sense of, I think, what's coming into my mind is kind of opening up to love, calming the mind, opening up to love, opening up to one's intuition and to one's creative flow. There's a strong healing energy connected to the Queen of Cups as well. So I feel like some of you, this may be taking time out for some personal healing, which can have its outlet through leisure, through taking some time for yourself, and also potentially through doing something creative, because this is the house of creativity. Okay, sixth house is Virgo energy, and Virgo is about your health. It's about your job if you are employed, because it's a house of service, as they call it. It can have to do with worry and, you know, things that you are worried about, because Virgo is as a kind of a perfectionist energy, wanting to get all the details right. And it also could have to do with pets if you have pets. So we have Sphinx with the Four of Cups. So well, there could be a pet thing for some of you, because I feel like Sphinx comes up when you're making a reference to cats or something. Maybe somebody getting a cat doesn't have to be, but you know, that could be very specific for somebody. But we have the Four of Cups here. So Four of Cups, I feel okay. Again, there's this really, Sphinx has an energy of secrecy. So just like we had this Urias over here, I feel like maybe there's something you're not telling people. Maybe you're worried. Maybe it's connected to a job. Could be connected to a health situation. I mean, it might be different for everybody, but I feel like there's some information that something that you're not telling people right now, or maybe people, you know, there's a sense of keeping, you know, wanting to keep something to yourself, and you have it with the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups, okay. This has to do with opportunities and not wanting to miss an opportunity. When the Four of Cups comes up, we may, you know, this person's looking at these three cups over here, you know, staring very intently at these three cups when actually there's a cup over here. So I feel like in terms of potentially work, I don't feel so much necessarily like a health situation here, but particularly I think in terms of work or maybe something you're concerned about, there could be something you're not looking at here. Okay. And maybe it's something that hasn't been revealed to you yet. Maybe it's something you're not seeing yet because for whatever reason it's not there. Although Sphinx indicates to me this is more like withheld information or secrets rather than just something that hasn't happened yet. So I feel for some people this may be there's maybe a wait and see kind of a situation. This could also be about jumping into a new job or doing something and then just saying, you know, focus on what you have right now. Don't focus on don't focus on the things that maybe you feel you don't have that you want or that are not to your satisfaction. Focus on what you have. Because I don't know, I feel like there may be a situation here where you need to wait and not jump on something. And I feel like this may have more to do with the job for somebody, but it could have to do with any kind of situation that you're worried or concerned about. You want to make sure you're looking at the opportunities and you're not missing something that's already there. And definitely, so I feel like this is another one of those look before you leap situations when it comes to a job or potentially to something that you are worried about. If this had to do with a health situation, this would say to me, okay, if somebody is dealing with a health problem, and again, I will always say when I do these that I am not a doctor. So if there are health situations, obviously it's your doctor who you want to listen to and not to me because I am not a medical professional. However, for some people, it could be that let's just say they have a problem that is not being diagnosed. This would suggest to me that there's something that's being missed. Okay, that there's something that's being missed that's not being seen just yet. So whatever maybe you've been told currently about something, this is kind of a wait and see kind of a thing. So let's just say someone tells you something and says, well, I don't know, maybe we need to do surgery just to be careful. You know, I feel like there's like either a second opinion or you want to make sure you have all the information before you move ahead. And again, that's just very general advice. I don't want to, if somebody is considering something and this is something that maybe could be life-threatening or that's what you want to go with. You go with what your doctor says, you don't go with this. But I feel like for somebody who maybe just kind of has an ongoing complaint that doesn't seem to be solved, this may be saying that there's missing information that you need to get. Okay, Seventh house, this has to do with your relationships, so marriages, legal partnerships of all kinds, anything where perhaps you're in a contractual relationship, or if you're somebody who's in a relationship or single who wants to look at long-term relationships, that information could be here as well. Okay, so we have fire with the Six of Wands. We have double fire. So now if you already have a partner of some kind, fire definitely indicates a level of intensity here. So this could be somebody who is just a very strong and intense kind of a person. Could be somebody who's either Aries, Leo like yourself, or a Sagittarius. Those are the three fire signs. And you have this with the Six of Wands. So this is about leadership. This is about being seen and recognized. Maybe you are somebody who is sought after. If you've been looking to have a new relationship, maybe this is saying that you are seen by people, that you are attractive to people, you are seen as somebody who is successful, victorious, who has achieved something, or just somebody who is, there's a whole lot of charisma around this card. Although Six of Wands tends to have to do with things that are in the moment, and then, we have like this momentary victory, and then we kind of move forward from it. But generally speaking, I feel like either you, and if you are already married or in a partnership, this could have to do with you or your partner, like really shining or really standing out, or really working hard together on something, or they could just be very successful if you feel like this doesn't apply to you particularly. In a business relationship, this is actually a very good omen, because this has to do with getting rid of what isn't needed, cutting extra expenses, doing things like that, and scoring some kind of a victory or some kind of a goal. So take it as it resonates. I would feel generally as a love reading, this could be a fire sign person coming in, maybe somebody who is very successful and somebody who is seen. So, and of course that could be you. So take it as it resonates. Eighth house is Scorpio energy, so this has to do with transformation. So in the house of transformation, so these are transformations that are generally on a deeper level, not little minor changes that we make. And it can also have to do with other people's money potentially as well. Okay, so you've got Princess of Wands with Pyramid. Now, Pyramid is a test situation, and it absolutely is a test situation in the 8th house. For whatever reason, something in your life right now that is going on is challenging you. It's challenging you to do something different. I feel like there's almost strong North Node energy with this, and I'm talking about North Node in terms of Western astrology. It means something a little different in Vedic astrology, which connects it to Rahu. But I feel like there's an idea, usually the North Node message is get outside of your comfort zone. So I feel like you are being challenged and tested to do something new. Whatever it is, it's something you will get through, and that you will have, if you feel something is a struggle right now, this means good news eventually, okay? Princess of Wands, this is about messages. This is pages. This is the beginning of something. Excuse me, the beginning of a new project. Good news about something. Enthusiasm for something new. But the princess is like the page, so this is the beginning of something. This is not something that you're finishing, this is something that you're starting. And with all this energy down here, we have the Three of Wands, we have the Magician. I feel like, you are definitely in this mode of, you are an enthusiastic new start. And good messages coming in. Like I said, we see these new beginnings coming in here in the 3rd house. And but I feel like I think this is a reminder that whatever you're working on right now, whatever you're trying to manifest, it is telling you you're at the beginning. I mean, if you look back here, you have a 3. And you have the Magician, which is an early card in the deck. That's like card number 1. So you're just at the beginning of a process, and you need to give it time to do its thing. So, So there's definitely probably the overall thing is, go for it. You're enthusiastic, like move ahead, but also remember that you're going to need to be patient because things are just starting, not culminating. Okay. 9th house. This is about, Jupiter energy, Sagittarius energy, expansion, travel. This can be long distance travel rather than short term. It could have to do with higher education or schooling, or it can just have to do with expanding your horizons and learning something new generally. Okay, so we have Hathor with the 10 of Cups. So Hathor has a real, there's a lot of possibilities here with Hathor in terms of learning. This has a very strong feminine vibe. So it could be, especially with Isis over here, maybe you're going to be spending more time learning a skill like, I don't know, like cooking or sewing or something like that. Like the Hathor tends to be associated with those very domestic kind of things. But this can also be the woman who is, this also can be the educated woman. Can be the woman who is, who's organized, and basically the Hathor woman is somebody who kind of has their act together, okay, and is able to make decisions. Because we're talking about from a feminine perspective, this may be more about going with the flow than trying to overplan everything, okay? They're still organized and still efficient, but not so much about being able to adapt to different changes and so forth, because feminine energy is yielding energy. It's passive energy. So it may be saying that, sometimes getting out of your own way is the most useful thing to do when you're trying to expand your horizons. Now with the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Cups is great. This is a wish card. So this could be a long journey or something that you're taking that could bring about a wish fulfillment. This could have something to do with, something to do with educating or moving outside of your boundaries. For some people, this could have to do with religious organizations. It all depends. But there's definitely a sense here of a wish fulfillment coming in and an expansion of your horizons. So this is really good. This is like expansive Jupiter energy, and it's with this sense of emotional satisfaction. Jupiter currently is in Taurus, so this could have to do potentially with financial stuff. But again, I think for some people, this could literally mean something coming from long distance travel or from something connected to education potentially in some way. Or in some cases, this could even be a legal settlement as well, because the ninth house sometimes does have to do with that. Or this could also be a family member, because Hathor could be like a mother figure or another female figure in the family, because there's also a family vibe to this as well. So I don't know if it's going to be a trip to see someone that's going to bring about some kind of fulfillment. Could be financial fulfillment, could be emotional fulfillment. Ten of Cups, I feel like could go either way. But in any case, there's definitely the sense of community rallying around and just the expansion of horizons, whether this is through learning or whether this is through travel. 10th house, this is Capricorn, and Capricorn has to do with your career, your fame, your reputation. Okay, so we have Osiris with the Chariot, so that you are definitely in control of things here. This is more Sagittarius energy with Osiris, but there's also a vibe of the Emperor, of Aries energy. So this is about being in a stable position, having a solid foundation, having judgment you can trust. And when we have the Chariot here, the Chariot is about the decisions we make about moving forward. Chariot is one of the fastest moving cards in the deck, so there is a sense that something with your career is going to take off, okay? The Chariot is movement. And again, being what I'm seeing in the ninth house, for some people, this could literally have to do with moving. And it's funny because I have the World here in your fourth house. So at least somebody watching this reading, not necessarily a message, probably not a message for everybody. Somebody may be moving far away in connection with a job or career, okay? And whatever this is, this may be a kind of leadership position. In fact, it's interesting because you have the Six of Wands, which is the leader card here. This could be a business partnership with somebody or working with somebody on something. But there's definitely, if you're not planning on any moves, then there's still this idea that you are poised to move ahead, and that you have a solid foundation and leadership skills to be seen and to be successful. One of the things, it's interesting though, one thing I will say about Osiris is sometimes I feel like that's when things are kind of solidly in place. So there may be a vibe there of, okay, you've got a solid foundation, now you need to think about what you're going to do to move forward. So, because there is a lot of energy here of that. Three of Wands, the Magician, the Scarab card. All of these are pointing to you, Princess of Wands up here. All of you pointing to the idea that you have all the resources, and now it's time to, prepare that journey to move ahead. Okay, 11th house is Aquarius energy. And Aquarius has to do with your friendships, your social networks, also with your goals, your hopes, wishes, and your destiny. Okay, so we have Anubis with the Hanged Man. So again, we have this energy here of, where did I see it? It was Ta over here with the money, of protection, or protecting yourself, or creating a boundary. And again, though, this could also be a card of travel. So it could indicate wishes that come true, or wishes that are advanced, goals that are advanced through travel in some way. So that is possible here with Anubis. However, with the Hanged Man, I feel like there's a situation where maybe you feel stuck or feel like things aren't moving. And this would indicate that you need to take a broader perspective. Again, I feel like the success is coming from broadening your horizons over here. And maybe the key to that is the Hathor card over here, because Hathor, you may be taking a very active approach here. And what you might need here is more of this Queen of Cups energy, more of sitting back and listening to your intuition rather than trying to do so many things at once. Because there is this situation here where we have the Sphinx. And you may just be acting either out of boredom or dissatisfaction in terms of something you're doing. And so this may be saying, take that more feminine approach, which is sit back and allow things to come to you. We don't live in a society that promotes that. We are just kind of like, no, you have a goal and you must go for it now. But sometimes, you know, you're in a rush to try to go for something and then you miss what's in front of you. So I feel like this is saying definitely in terms of your wishes, take, you know, look at the bigger picture. Anubis also implies not only travel or navigating a difficult situation, but also protection. So I feel like between your friends, your network, I feel like you have a lot of protection here. I feel like, again, you're not delusional in any way, shape, or form. So if you think you've been, you know, lying to yourself, or if you're in self-doubt, then this would be saying, no, don't need to worry about that. But yeah, there's definitely this sense of needing to look beyond a little bit. You know, get beyond, you know, get outside your comfort zone here a little bit. Oh, that's an interesting card. Okay. 12th house. This is Pisces energy. And Pisces has to do with what you might be afraid of. Whether you are consciously aware that you are afraid of it or not. I mean, it is the realm of the imagination, but this is sort of a cloudy realm of things that can have to do with psychic and intuitive energy, but also with the things we're not entirely sure about. Definitely a much more spiritual house. I think it was said once, this is the house of both sainthood and madness. So it's kind of that amorphous space where of things that maybe we have fears or doubts about. Okay, and you have Winged Disc with the Princess of Swords. Now, Princess of Swords has to do with unconscious fears about gossip. Maybe this has to do with family because of what I'm seeing down here. Maybe you've made some decisions recently and you're like, oh, I feel like my family's talking about me or something. You know, there's this kind of energy, or somebody's talking about you. But, you know, you do have Winged Disc here. So you may also have fears about whether or not you're going to succeed, whether or not you're going to make it. I feel like these, first of all, I think it's saying, yes, you are going to make it. Okay. That you do, you need to follow your intuition, follow your instincts, get in touch a little bit more with that feminine side. And this, of course, the other aspect of the Princess of Swords is looking for information, and getting more information about things. Like right now, I feel like this may be a time of doing research and figuring out where you're going. So where you feel, yeah, and I feel like as far as gossip and such goes, I don't, I just feel like the situations where I don't think that the gossip is anything that's going to be harmful to you, but at the same time, I think, it may be a situation where if you feel that you explaining your goals, dreams, wishes right now to certain people, maybe it's not going to be helpful. But I wouldn't worry that it's having a detrimental effect. I feel like people may be responding, like if it is family, a lot of times family is just responding out of worry. And, you know, you don't need them to worry. So, you know, my own strategy when I've dealt with my own family and things that they're worrying about, that I just said, you know, we don't need to be spending energy on this, is that I just simply don't tell them. And that may be what it's saying right here. Like, you just might want to keep things to yourself. You know, keep your wishes to yourself right now. Protect your wishes. And again, there's a need here to get in touch with your own receptivity and to see where things are going. Now, if you're telling me like, well, okay, there's no family thing, I don't think that nonetheless, there still seems to be this idea that you feel that other people, I don't know, that maybe you're doing something and maybe some people have a negative opinion of it, or maybe are gossiping about it in some way. I don't know. The fact that it's showing up here, I don't feel, if anything like that is happening, I don't feel like it's happening on the kind of scale that maybe you think it is, or on a scale that's going to be problematic. Ultimately, I feel like this is talking about overcoming. Wing disc in the 12th house to me is overcoming fears. Okay, so you will be able to do that. Overall, you have Seth. Okay, so I feel like right now there's some stress, there's some anxiety. I feel like there's decisions that are being made here. I feel like you're anxious to move ahead with something, but there maybe you're worried about the opinions of others. Maybe you're not quite satisfied with the options that have been presented to you. This does seem to be connected to money, because when I draw Seth, we always draw a second cartouche card. So that has to do with money and stability. But I feel like the fact that it's coming as an answer to Seth indicates that money and stability will be coming. I mean, you have the 9 of Wands here, so this is this kind of wounded warrior energy, like you're pushing through to the finish line on something. So right now, I just think, okay, I think you're tired. I think you're making some changes here. You're anxious to start making changes, but I think you're also tired. Something has ended, or something has successfully come to an end, but you may be looking at what you have now and not recognizing what advantages you have right now. So definitely, there's definitely a sense of your moving towards completion here, and where I'm seeing that completion coming is in this 9th house, the 10 of Cups. This has to do with expanding your horizons, getting outside of your comfort zone, possibly traveling, possibly educating yourself in something else. Okay, but also allowing yourself to wait for the right thing to arrive. I feel like you're in a better position than you think you are. Everything seems to be solid. I feel like you're somebody who's making solid decisions. It's just that you're making some changes and maybe undecided here about the impact of those changes. Maybe connected to certain things. And for somebody, at least, this does seem to be strongly connected either to family or to a home situation. So let's draw a Gateway Oracle card for you. And here we go. Okay. Your card is Dwelling in Truth. And it says, I stand in the light of truth. Okay, so this tells me that you are somebody who knows, you've got the Osiris up here. You know what your truth is. You know what your truth is. Don't let other people tell you what your truth is. You know what it is, okay? So that's what I feel like the overall message is here. And don't worry about what other people think. You know what's right, and you are moving in the right direction. So in spite of any... we always have concerns about security, stability, especially if we do something new. But this is assuring you that you want to, open your heart, open your mind, and hold space for a new thing to come in. If something's empty, we don't need to fill it with something right away. I mean, you can wait for the right thing to come and fill it. I hope that's helpful to you this week, Leo. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment if you would like. And if you're not subscribed, please do consider subscribing to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you always get videos when they come out every week. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.